Hello my loves, and welcome to Absolutely Cosmical. I'm Luna, your astrologer and tarot reader, and today we're going to be talking about how to become his dream girl with astrology. So we are going to take a look at a man's moon and Venus sign to understand their dream girl. So in order to find their moon and Venus sign, you're going to head on over to astrocharts.com. I will link it below for you guys. You're going to input their information, their day, month, and year of birth, as well as their city of birth, and if you can, their birth time. Once you put that information in there, you'll get a pretty simple little chart that tells you each of their planetary placements, and it's really beginner friendly, so head on over and do that. Now, once you have this information, the moon in a man's chart tells us about the kind of woman that he will want to make his wife, right? So commitment, the kind of woman that he wants to have children with, the kind of woman he will build a family with. And then Venus will tell us about the kind of woman that they're most attracted to, a kind of sensuality and beauty and flirtation that they're drawn to. So Venus and moon, when used together, we are able to become the dream girl and integrate both the qualities that make him want to commit, the qualities that make him want to feel safe around you, while also feeling passionately and romantically in love. What you're going to do now is you're going to head on over to the description and you're going to go to the timestamp for their moon and Venus sign. Make sure to check out both. And understand that if you're looking at their moon sign, you're looking at the qualities that they are seeking in terms of safety, right? In terms of commitment. Now, if you're looking at their Venus sign, understand that you need to integrate more of the beauty and flirtation aspects of that. Now, I've made a quick little handy guide for you guys. You can use it forever. For every single man you ever meet, it has everything from beauty to hair to personality to real world examples of real men and the kinds of women that they've been drawn to. It is a 27-page guide, but this gives you a rundown of every single Venus and moon sign placement, every single thing you need to know about it. You're going to ask me, Luna, what if my person has their moon and Venus sign in contradictory placements? That is to be expected, my love. As humans, we are multifaceted, we are complicated. So what you need to do here is you need to integrate. So if their moon is in Cancer and their Venus is in Aries, what you're going to do is, well, the qualities of the moon in Cancer are someone who is nurturing, someone who is emotionally present, someone who is kind and loving, right? Versus the Venus in Aries, that's a little bit more independent, bold in your face. So they're looking for someone who is strong, is independent, someone who knows who they are, someone who has clear goals in life and makes their desires in the relationship known, right? Someone who flaunts their confidence, but is also able to bring a safety and who is emotionally present for them in the relationship when needed, right? So they are wanting someone a little more complicated. And that will also tell you that if their moon and Venus sign do contradict one another, that this person themselves may have a slight inner conflict about what they're looking for. So if you're dealing with someone, if you're watching this video and you're like, I don't know if this guy likes me, I don't know how to become the girl that he's looking for, he's not committing, or he's not as into me as he used to be, then that might be a sign that this person themselves has contradictory desires, okay? And if you don't want to do all that, my love, if you want it spoon-fed to you, I can do that for you. You can book a personal reading with me where I will literally look at their birth chart personally, and I will give you a full-on rundown of what they're like in a relationship, what they're looking for in a relationship, what they're looking for in a partner, their red flags, their green flags, all that kind of jazz. I have a reading for that in the description below as well. Now, the last little disclaimer I want to leave you guys with is use this with caution. You need to understand you already are someone's dream girl. If you check out the guide that I made, you will notice that a lot of the women that these men are drawn to innately have some of these placements in their chart. So if the man is a moon in Cancer or a Venus in Taurus, the likelihood that the person that they're looking at has these placements as a Taurus placement or a Cancer placement or is very Venusian is very high. So if you're dealing with someone who isn't very interested in you and you're looking at this moon and Venus sign video and you're realizing this person isn't really looking for someone like me, that is your clue that maybe this isn't the right person for you, right? You can also wield this to better a current relationship. If you're in a relationship with a long-term partner and the spark is out, they're no longer chasing you, they're no longer putting in the effort, well, check out their Venus sign. See what maybe we can do to zhuzh up the sexiness in the relationship, or vice versa. If you're with someone and they're struggling to commit to you, check out their moon sign and see if those are some placements or some qualities that you can embody a little bit more. But it's important to make sure that we're using this for our own highest good, to be with people that are truly compatible with us instead of trying to force ourselves into a version of us that isn't even really you. All right, so let's get started. Starting with the moon in Aries or Venus in Aries. These men love a woman who is confident, who is sure of herself, who is a leader, who has a lot of hobbies. These kind of men like women who are almost like unavailable all the time. And moon and Venus and Aries men do like the chase. So they do like it when you're not always available. They're going to want to be kind of almost needing of your attention. If you're always available, they're going to have this kind of stifleness where they're like, I don't have anywhere to put this energy, right? So they do enjoy a woman who has goals outside of them. Also, these are men who are quite competitive. So they enjoy a woman who can do a lighthearted competition, lighthearted banter. They like women who are spontaneous. So if you're trying to zhuzh up the sexy or the passion with someone in your life, with a Venus and Aries especially, bring up more spontaneous trips, more spontaneous sexy time. Don't always plan everything. Be a little bit bold or unexpected, right? So just kiss them or like be direct in what you're looking for. These kinds of things are very alluring and attractive to them. They enjoy someone who's like very, very direct and straightforward as well. All right. Now, if your partner has their moon in Aries, this is going to be a little bit more indicative of what makes them feel safe. So they will enjoy a partner who fights for them. A partner who is bold and unapologetic, and you say what you think and you say what you mean without sugarcoating things. These men enjoy a woman who is almost a little bit brash because at least they know where we stand, right? So they really enjoy that. Now, moon in Taurus or Venus in Taurus. These men love a little bit of a trophy wife. They do like a woman who is beautiful. This is one of the Venus ruled signs. So these men, you know, if you want to draw them in, put a lot of time into your appearance, but all five senses, okay? Because Taurus is quite a sensual sign. So smell, touch, even taste, things like that. Like wear cherry lip gloss so that when you taste them, they kind of, you know, they remember the way you taste, or wear signature smell so that whenever they, you know, they smell that, they're thinking of you. These kind of men love little things like that. They also love, you know, textures. So if you are married to or in a long-term relationship with a Venus in Taurus or a Moon in Taurus man, and you're wanting to bring a little bit of that passion back into the relationship, silk gowns to bed, cute little outfits for the home, like instead of always wearing that big t-shirt that's kind of ugly, put a little effort into your appearance when you're just lounging about at home, whether it be a two-piece little loungewear set, or even lingerie. Things like that will really go far with a Venus in Taurus or a Moon in Taurus man. These men also appreciate hygiene, so smelling good, having your nails done. If you get lucky, especially with a Venus in Taurus man, these men are willing to invest into your appearance and into you taking care of yourself. These men are willing to pay for your nails, are willing to pay for your hair appointment, are willing to invest in having a beautiful woman by their side. Okay, now especially if you have a Moon in Taurus man at home, quality time is really important, and quality time, physical quality time is really important. So making sure that we make time for these things, you know, making sure we prioritize dating, going out together, having some one-on-one time together. These men love, you know, restaurant date and then a little sexy afterwards, something like that. Slow and steady wins the race, almost kind of, you know, dressing up, and then like the kind of the anticipation of having you. That's another thing. If you're in the earlier stages with the Moon and Venus or in Taurus, these men do like a slower kind of evolving of the relationship. They're unlikely to go from like dating to marriage very quickly. They do like the kind of the journey, not necessarily the destination. So play a little bit hard to get, you know, make those kisses really valuable. Don't always give them out so easily, make them earn it. All right. So now Moon and Venus in Gemini. These men want a best friend. They want a partner in crime. So they want a woman who is goofy, who is okay with not always looking too put together. These guys do actually appreciate almost like an Emma Chamberlain type, you know, someone who is very funny, who is capable of, you know, wearing a cute little messy bun and rocking it, right? And they also enjoy a woman who can be witty, who can banter with them, who can have inside jokes with them. Especially the Moon and Gemini man. If you're, you know, with a Moon and Gemini man and you want him to commit, he needs to feel like every single day with you is a blast. Like every single day with you is he is with his best friend, right? And that doesn't mean that we can't be serious, but Moon and Gemini men, when it comes to challenges, right, and working through challenges, they want a woman where it's like your child is running around with a poopy diaper. You know, all hell has broken loose and you're capable of looking at each other and laughing. That is what they're looking for. That is the kind of energy they are seeking. And if you're with someone with a Venus in Gemini, they're drawn to women who are a little bit more childish and fun. They also appreciate intellect. They appreciate a woman who reads, a woman who has hobbies, a woman who is intelligent in a particular subject, even if it's just something you're really nerdy and interested in, whether it be, I don't know, Star Wars, or if you're really interested in art. Like these men love to hear someone passionately share their interest and understand the way your mind works. And if you are with someone with a Venus in Gemini and you're wanting to kind of zhuzh up the passion, bring a little bit more interest into the relationship, spontaneity is a really big deal. Going places that isn't just your house all the time. Gemini enjoys short distance trips. So even if you guys don't have the money for a whole trip, a little trip to the beach or a little picnic at the park, or just getting out of your day-to-day mundaneness, having time, one-on-one time to just conversate. Conversation is really important to these natives. All right, so let's move into Moon and Venus in Cancer. All right, so these men, they really love a very traditional feminine woman. When it comes to like beauty and looks, they're very much looking for like a Sabrina Carpenter type. You know, they're looking for cute, sexy, but very feminine, like an energy where it's like they want to cuddle you, they want to take care of you. So you know, if you're interested in a Venus and Cancer man, let him do things for you. So be like, oh, I can't reach the top shelf, can you pick that up for me? And they'll be like, yeah, I'd love to. And they're gonna think you're super cute and small, and they're gonna love it, and then they're gonna feel competent, they're gonna feel like you need them, right? So when it comes to Moon and Venus and Cancer, the key word is needed. So especially when it comes to Venus and Cancer in that courting stage, they want to feel like you need them, they want to feel like you want to be around them. These guys actually enjoy a little bit of a clinger, a stage 5 clinger. They're into that. They also, especially a Moon and Cancer man, the way to their heart is to their stomach. So these guys do appreciate baked goods. They appreciate you making a meal from them. Or if you are someone who has like interior design skills or helps them dress better, gives them a cute little outfit, these men will appreciate that. They really enjoy the girl next door type. If you are with a Moon and Cancer, Venus and Cancer man, and you're wanting to bring a little bit more passion and sexiness into the relationship, these men really appreciate having time together, quality time together. Also, they really appreciate when you try for them, when they feel like you prioritize them. So you've made them a meal, or you dress up and you're like, do you like this outfit? You wear their favorite outfit, you wear their favorite style of makeup. You know, if they feel like they're being considered. So this is a really sweet little placement to have. So moving into Moon or Venus in Leo. So these men are looking for a woman who is authentically herself, right? Where she goes out and she is unafraid, unabashed in who she is and the way she expresses herself and the way she is seen. This really gives me Lady Gaga energy, where it's like she is so wild and she is 100% herself, unapologetically. She will wear, you know, a steak dress, and then the next day she will look absolutely fabulous in like a designer brand dress, right? She's stunning. And there is a quality of like Moon and Leo, Venus and Leo men really like to be with women that they perceive to be talented, or, you know, or have really strong confidence, right? So if you're capable of just wearing your cute little outfits that are just super you know, wearing that fur coat in the middle of July, like they're gonna love that kind of thing. Or a woman who is unafraid to be heard, to be seen, to be the life of the party, to be a bit of like a social butterfly energy as well. However, this is also one where these men really want you to also make them feel like they're special, because Leo is a sign that really needs, you know, it's ruled by the sun. So not only do they want to have you shine, but they want you to help them shine too, to understand that they are also the sun, right? That things revolve around them in some way as well. So giving a Moon or Venus and Leo man compliments goes a really long way, especially because men don't always receive compliments. Men with Leo placements, they will remember that forever. Like if you told them that you really liked that shirt on them, they're gonna go home and they're gonna be like, huh, maybe I do look good in this shirt. And they're gonna wear it more often, and they're gonna like seek your approval. These men will seek your approval, and they want to hear appreciation. They want to hear words of affirmation. So if you are with someone with a Moon or Venus in Leo, and you know you're losing the passion, or you're feeling like you're not as connected, one of the quickest ways to do that is to compliment them more, even if it feels like you are noticing all the things that have gone wrong. Even just, hey, I would really appreciate it if you cleaned up the kitchen a little bit more. I love the way that you always make our bed in the morning, and I just really appreciate that, and I would love for you to actually also do that in the kitchen. Make sure to slide little compliments into your criticisms, and they will like you more, because these kind of guys, they will gravitate to people that make them feel better about themselves. So if you are a bit of a ball of sunshine and make them feel better about themselves, they want to shine with you. Venus and Leo men want to shine alongside you. Moon and Leo men want you to recognize the parts of them that they think go undervalued or underlooked, because a lot of Moon and Leo men do feel underappreciated, or, you know, not always recognized. So they need to feel recognized. Moon or Venus in Virgo. So these men really love a woman who makes their life easier, more convenient. You need to fit into their life. And if you are with a, you know, Virgo man with Moon or Venus in Virgo, and you're feeling like they're not putting any effort, a lot of times it's because these men are not looking for someone that they have to do the most for. What I mean by that is that Virgo is really big on their lifestyle, on their routines, on their work, and if you conflict with these things, they're not going to pursue you. And that's okay. If that's not something that you are okay with, then you can look for someone else. But these are the kind of men where it's like, if you're not okay with a coffee date because they're really busy or that's what they can afford at that time, that's going to be a huge turnoff for them. They're going to think you're kind of entitled, and that's your prerogative. You can accept or decline whatever you want. But these kind of men do like women who are a bit more low maintenance. They like women who are very helpful. The energy is very like Andrew Garfield, where he said, I'm a stone with a shot of espresso, right? So they're also prone to dating their coworkers because, again, those people fit into their life. There isn't that much effort that needs to be done to make this person be a part of their life. So for them, the way that you fit into their lifestyle is a really big deal. If they're a gym rat and you're not, that could be a conflict. That can make them feel like, well, I can't commit to this woman. So even if they're with you, they're dating you, and you're not getting that ring or you're not getting that level of commitment that you're looking for, it could be because there is some sort of practical or logistical incompatibility there. They also need to respect you, to respect your efforts. For example, these men are prone to dating like their secretary or their assistant because it's like a woman who's always available. They're always like in their routine, and a woman who helps them, right? They do things for you. And also a woman that they feel like is competent, right? You get things done for me. So those are the main qualities that a Virgo man is seeking. Someone who cares about their health, their hygiene, their day-to-day routines, someone who cares about their work. They also need to feel like you care about their work, and you guys can bond over mutual interests. So mutual lifestyles, mutual interests are particularly important for Moon or Venus in Libra. So these men, they really are looking for the Barbie to their Ken. So they're looking for a woman who is first and foremost beautiful, absolutely beautiful. In my research for the Dream Girl Guide, has everything from celebrity examples to hair, makeup, beauty, flirtation. I found that the Venus in Libra or Moon in Libra man is like every single one of their girlfriends is stunning. Like there was not a singular girlfriend that wasn't absolutely stunning and conventionally attractive. And that's because Libra, similar to Taurus, I mean, they love beauty. They really appreciate beauty because they're Venus ruled signs. So if your man has a Venus in Libra, the number one thing that will attract a Venus and Libra man is genuinely just being attractive. The second thing, the only thing that will make them not like you if you're beautiful, is if you have like an ugly personality. So if you don't get along with others, that's a turn off. If you don't get along with their friends, I mean, these people, Venus and Libra, Moon and Libra man, men, they really care about how well you integrate into their social circles, both friendship, familial, everyone in their life. They need you to seamlessly get along with people in their life. If you don't get along with the people in their life, that's very difficult for them to get over. And it's also one where these men love the like my man, my husband types, right? So if you are that girl, they're gonna love that. They're gonna love a woman who puts them first, a woman who, you know, like their relationship is a really big part of their life. Like the kind of woman who like you would have like a whole Instagram account for you and your boyfriend. They would really like something like that. I mean, Reynolds and Blake Lively are a really good example of this. That kind of like it girl energy that, you know, like everyone turns their heads when they're together. Like they love that energy. And they also really appreciate a woman who will always put their family and their relationship first, especially a Moon and Libra man. As I mentioned, the moon sign is the kind of woman that they will marry. Like if they are considering to commit to you, you need to be like the kind of woman where it's like everything else is second to him and the family. That's really important to them. A sense of harmony, a sense of like, we're a team, we are, you know, together, everything else comes second. And so they really appreciate also a woman who has social grace, who is polite, who is well liked. If you're in a relationship with someone with a Moon or Venus in Libra and you're feeling like the spark has gone out, or you're maybe struggling to get this person to commit, if they're not committing to you, this person might feel like you don't fully fit into their life, you don't fit into their friendship circle, or perhaps you are not necessarily exactly what they're looking for, because these men do have a type. You know, these are the kind of men where it's like all of the girlfriends they have probably look alike, and if you look different from all of the other ones, it's also one of those things where like they might be trying to get out of their comfort zone, but they're almost always very sure of what they're looking for. And if their Venus is in Libra and you're feeling like they're not as attracted to you, there is something to do with either beauty, like they might have gotten kind of bored, so zhuzhing your hair up, changing your hair, bring a little bit of a newness to the relationship. But also Libras really prioritize romance and dating and going out, and also go out with friends as a group, go out with friends, go out with your social circle. Now, moving into Moon or Venus in Scorpio. So these men love a woman who almost looks like she might bite. They definitely like a woman who's a bit intimidating, dramatic, a little bit more like she's confident and she knows it. They do like a woman who is, they also are drawn to women like who could be a little bit alternative or emo or just different. Like there's something about them that they're not like everyone else. Scorpio likes that energy of exclusivity where it's like they feel like, not everyone gets to know you, not everyone gets to be around you. Also, this is, reminds me of like Jade West from Victorious. That's very Venus, Moon, and Scorpio energy where they love like a woman who's very bold herself, but she's also kind of mysterious and like dominant. This is another one of the Mars ruled signs. So both the Moon and Venus in Aries and the Moon and Venus in Scorpio men, they love a chase. They like a woman who's dominant, who's sure of herself. This is also one where they like privacy to a certain extent. So if you're someone who's always blabbing about your relationship or telling all of your friends your secrets about your partner, that could be a really big issue, especially if the person has a moon in Scorpio, like if it's their moon sign. If the person you're with is not committing to you, or they're struggling to really take you seriously, a lot of times it could be because of that. It could be because they feel like you can't take all of their secrets, right? These men are a lockbox. Moon and Scorpio men are a lockbox, and if they feel like they cannot trust you with their secrets, they're not going to commit to you. And a good example of this is Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez, where it's like, they got divorced, and I wouldn't be surprised if a really big part of that was J-Lo's decision to put so much of their relationship and letters and his authentic, real thoughts and feelings for her on a public stage, right? So this is also one where like intimacy, physical intimacy, is a really big deal for this kind of man. Really feels like they connect the most deeply with their partners through intimacy. Now, like I mentioned, Scorpio does like exclusivity. So there is a sense of playing hard to get and making sure that you make this person earn it and also prove your level of value to this person. Because Scorpio and Taurus, both of these signs deal with worth. So that's why we have, the Taurus moon or Venus and Taurus man wants like a trophy of a wife that's like beautiful and stunning and amazing. The Scorpio man similarly wants someone that he feels like others cannot have. So there is a sense of like, if you give in too easily to this person, or you don't uphold your boundaries with this person, or even other people you have a reputation for getting taken advantage of by friends or family, etc., etc. If they feel like you're always caught in drama, or they feel like you are always with one, bunch of different guys, this is one where they could kind of see that as a turnoff and feel like, well, maybe this person isn't as valuable or as exclusive as I thought that they were. So privacy, exclusivity, and making these men earn a place in your life is a really big deal, because they're also Mars ruled, and Mars likes to conquer, right? So they like to feel like they need to win you, and so if you just give in too easily, they might not think that you're worth it. All right, and if you're struggling with a Venus in Scorpio or Moon in Scorpio man, if the passion is gone, sometimes this is a big one where it's like judging up the intimate life. Really prioritizing intimacy, and not just like intimacy for intimacy's sake, but really deep, genuine connection through intimacy is one of the ways to really connect with this kind of man, especially if you're in a serious committed relationship. All right, so moving into Moon and Venus in Sagittarius. It's very important, if you're looking at especially a Venus and Sagittarius man, to look at their moon sign, because the way that a Venus and Sagittarius man can manifest really greatly depends on their moon sign, because Sagittarius is a mutable sign, which means it's adaptable. It's not always the same. It's not very hard to date a Venus and Sag man or Moon Sagittarius man. These men do date around quite a bit, and they date people that are all very drastically different. It's also important to note with a Venus and Sagittarius man that just because you are their girlfriend doesn't always mean that they're going to marry you. So these men do like women who also have a similar ideology. They do tend to like women who are free-spirited and aren't so interested in like labels and forcing them into commitment. Kind of men are drawn to women who are very intelligent, or drawn to women who are different from them. So they like a woman older than them, significantly older than them, significantly younger than them. They could like a woman who is from a different country, a different cultural background, just a woman who's really interesting, has a very like offbeat, different experience or style. These are things that draw these kind of men in. A good example of this is Jake Gyllenhaal. He has his Venus in Sagittarius, but like I mentioned, he also has his moon in Gemini. So this is like a double flighty energy, double, non-committal energy. So we see this man date a lot of women. He's been in long and short relationships, and yet he's never managed to get married. So that's what you need to understand with this placement. If marriage is really important to you, this might not be the one for you. I think I watched this couple on YouTube. They're called Eamon and Beck. They're a van life couple. And that is like a Venus and Sagittarius, Moon and Sagittarius man's kind of dream, is like a woman where in their relationship. They were engaged for like 6 years. They were dating for like 10. They're still not married. They have a baby. They've been traveling the world, right? That's an extreme example of this energy where it's like, if you're with a Venus Sagittarius man, they're looking for a woman who is spontaneous and isn't always looking at like, when are we getting married, what exactly is going to happen. They want a woman who's open to the adventure, right? It's about the journey, not the destination. So that's what they're looking for. And you will have the most success with a Venus in Sagittarius or Moon in Sagittarius man when you as an individual are very interesting to them naturally. So for example, if you have differences in cultural backgrounds, right? If one of you is Irish and the other person is Latino, they're going to already find that interesting, right? That's already enough to kind of keep them really interested. They're like, wow, you're so different. Like, your life is so different. You speak different languages, right? That could be interesting to them. Or even just your lifestyle. Like, if you're like a backpacker who just runs around selling tea and going all over the world, that itself could be super exciting enough to kind of keep this person around for a long time. So that's the tea on them. And I am going to make another video on, how to know if a man is husband material or boyfriend material, based on their astrology, because not every single man is going to be as easy to get to commit or to entice them into a relationship, right? Moving into Moon and Venus in Capricorn, this is another one of those signs that really loves a dominant woman. These men do like a woman who is very intimidating, who they respect. Respect is a really important quality to this native. That means that whether it be in your career, they respect your career, or if you don't have a career, if you're like a stay-at-home wife or a stay-at-home partner to them, they need to respect your energy. They need to think that, you are an incredible mother. You are an incredible wife, right? These things are really important. They need to feel like you are accomplished in some way. They love accomplished women. They love women who have drive, who know what they want. But it's important that they do not feel like less than to you. They enjoy power couple energy. They don't always like to feel like you've outdone them. So sometimes that can breed competition with these men, or even resentment. A good example of this, I believe, is I think Brad Pitt has Venus in Capricorn, which is one where it's like, Angelina Jolie's amazing and she's beautiful and she's so talented. As his career maybe started to dwindle, that could have been not a great feeling for him. So what initially started as like, I want this girl, she's like super amazing and I respect her so much, but she's outdone him, that can create resentment. So that's something to be aware of with this placement. They do need to feel competent. They need to feel like you do need them to some regard, and they need to feel like you guys are equals. They need to feel like they respect you and you respect them. So this is one where you can really go far with validating their career achievements. You could go far with sharing your career interests and achievements. This is also one where the more unavailable you are, the more they like you, because this is a Saturn ruled sign. So Saturn is about restriction. So if you aren't always available to them, or you are a little bit out of reach, they're the mountain goat. They want to climb that mountain. They want to be the person you choose. They want to live up to your standard. When we run into issues is when the man feels like they're not, reaching your standards, and that can lead to feeling emasculated, resentment, all kinds of things with this particular placement. All right. The Moon in Capricorn man will often marry a woman who they really admire professionally, or a woman that they admire like her fortitude, her strength, the challenges she's overcome, right? And the Venus in Capricorn man is a little less interested in your achievements. They're more interested in allowing them to flaunt their achievements, right? To feel like you respect them, to feel like you like their achievements, you like their life, right? And what they've accomplished. All right, so moving into Moon and Venus in Aquarius. So these men also really want a best friend, similar to Gemini. But these men are really into the not like other girls archetype. They love a really weird, quirky girl. And weird is subjective. They like a little bit of creative genius, a little bit of manic energy. That could mean, you have really niche interests and you flaunt them with pride. Say, for example, you're really into Star Wars, or you're really into film, or you really love music, or whatever. And they really like authentic self-expression. So if you really love green and you dyed your hair green, they could really appreciate that. They could think it's cool. They could think it's awesome. They like the cool girl energy. So they do enjoy a woman who at the very least pretends she does not care what others think. So there is a sense of kind of wanting to do things your own way. Weirdly, in my research for the Dream Girl Guide, if you want to purchase that, it's in the description below, where I basically break down all of the moon and Venus signs and what they're looking for in terms of beauty, style, with celebrity examples. I found that the Venus and Moon in Aquarius men were very likely to date older women. I'm not sure what that's about. It could have a little bit to do with the Saturn influence, but I also found that these men were also very particularly drawn to women succeeding in male spaces, or women who were a bit androgynous, maybe not so hyper feminine, women who weren't super like fashionable, who were okay with not wearing makeup, with having their hair in a bun, right? They like a little bit more of that like relaxed energy where they feel like you don't care so much what others think. But again, this is also a placement where these men love someone who's their best friend. So if you do not fit into their friend group, that could be a problem, right? If their friends don't like you, that's a problem. They also need to feel like you are cool, right? There's something about you that's like, ooh, wait, like that's so different. Like, I want to know you better. Okay, now moving into Moon and Venus in Pisces. This man loves their dream girl. And again, in my research for this particular zodiac sign, I found that the women that these men were drawn to were like bombshells. Like the kinds of women that like every single man says they want to marry this girl. Every single man, you would ask a man on the street, like, who's your celebrity crush, like a Margot Robbie type of vibe, where it's like everyone likes that woman. It's like the man's dream girl. That is the Venus and Pisces type. They love, a woman of their fantasy. They love the manic pixie dream girl energy, where it's like you are just their fantasy. And the way that we can do that is it's really important to allow a man with a Venus and Pisces to pine. So these men do well when you have distance from them, when you allow them to kind of hope and wish and imagine being with you. When you're present all the time, it doesn't allow them to fantasize. So this is one where leave a lot to the imagination. They really enjoy that. They also love a woman who is very beautiful and presents herself through creative expression, whether it be through makeup, through hair, through style, through fashion. This is also one that I found was really common in muses. So again, coming back to like the women that were in this category, like the kinds of women these men were drawn to in my guide were like the dream girl archetypes, like the archetypes that men are like obsessed with. So it's not surprising that these women become their muse, become these men's muse. So muse energy is very common with Venus and Pisces and Moon and Pisces men. If you are like absolutely stunning and they take 1,000 pictures of you, like they're obsessed with you. You become their muse. You become everything they're looking for. This is also one though where they really do like a woman who is kind of attached at the hip with them. That's another thing I noticed in my research. Codependency, where it's like when you think of that person, you also think of their wife. So there's like a unit energy where they're attached at the hip. These men are prone to codependency, so they do like want you to be around them all the time, but then they will kind of, if you don't spend time away from them, they will lose the fantasy. So it's important to keep the fantasy alive, whether it be if you're particularly artistic or creative. These men really appreciate that. So I also found like the women in this particular category reinvented themselves often, changed their hair, changed their style, etc., etc. So if that's something that you naturally do, like if you're a cosplayer or if you're someone who like naturally loves to experiment with hair and makeup, this is a perfect fit for you. These men also appreciate those things, so they will notice. They're the kind of men where it's like, they will notice that you did your makeup different today. And they do love a woman who admires them, right? They do want to feel like you're their fan to a certain degree, which was another thing I noticed in my research, was that a lot of the women in this particular category really, really revere their partner as like genius, their creative genius. So if your partner is like really particularly good at something, you want to like praise them, right? So one example is like Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber. He has this Venus in Pisces, and the woman he married, he has a Moon in Libra and a Venus in Pisces, right? So he wants a woman who's like my man, my man, my man. And if that's not Hailey Bieber, and then he has his Venus in Pisces, so he likes a woman where it's like she's obsessed with him, and he wrote, I think, a song about her. I mean, he's written way more songs about Selena, but still, there's a sense of like he wants a girl that he can kind of project onto, imagine with, a woman who like really loves his creative genius, right? Things like that. Like he wants to feel admired. So that's all of the Moon and Venus signs. As I mentioned, you can either book a personal reading if you want me to do this for someone you are seeing. I can look at their whole chart might tell you what they're looking for in love, the red flags they may portray, how they might be in a relationship, their green flags, etc., etc. Or you could purchase their guide that you can use for any guy that you ever meet. Get a quick little rundown of what they're looking for, style, beauty, flirting, all of the above. And I'll see you guys the next one. Bye.